I expect to see their classic kind of Viper plus Sentinel composition that is the best in slot combo.
Especially because here in EMEA we have a lot of teams that decide to not run the Viper is something that you can always take advantage of, especially if you're a Fnatic and you have so many rounds and you know this map so incredibly well because Mini was so nice to
I did sleep through BBL.
Me and my other coaches that I did work with. Shout out to Anders on that one.
You know,
Not
always
just me.
good
No,
to
it's me.
spread the credit here. But let's focus in on the Liquid side.
Channel went out because of Team America due to denied visa application.
For a moment here, looking at the Liquid side, right? What's going to be important for you to see right off the bat to tell you that they can take Fnatic to task here?
A good composition.
Sometimes it's as simple
That's crazy.
as that. So hopefully we're going to be getting into the composition here in just a moment. What do you want to see from the Liquid comp?
I want to see Chamber. I want to see something that can match up to what Fnatic have been doing. The Sage, the Chamber has been so powerful for them.
We're diving into it. Fnatic versus Liquid.
So the way I'd frame this for Liquid is they're playing the double duelist.
And the Viper.
But this morning we saw Paper Rex, a team known for being very good at dueling.
You got Energy Furia, 100 Thieves, Crew later.
So I'm getting the implication.
Damn, this goes to 3 maps.
Need to play that necessarily.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think. I'm gonna say.
There's gonna be a time clash.
No hard sentinel.
You have no You have no sentinel. You have like there is so much that can quote unquote go wrong in the map, but there is if you do not control if you don't fully control the pace, like what are you going to do in the defense? How are you going to cover all the
BBL 1 pistol. But go on around BBL, go on around BBL 1 pistol.
I think in terms of a strategic
Foot win, 3rd round.
I think that they have the advantage in this agency.
They just gone
So eyes on
around.
the individuals to do something here. The win percentage obviously going to be deceptive because they haven't played it yet. So they've also won 100% of their summits.
Round 8 from Laura.
Yeah, we try not to look at those.
I'll be honest, I've never
No
looked at it.
clutches.
I have a question for you. When we were watching,
that's we taught you well.
when we were watching our first summit here in EMEA, one of the things
A
that we were worried about
1v3
on the
by
other side, on the
Cristalli.
AC side, were those really deep Viper walls. So
An
we've got a
ace
Viper
by
wall that's coming
Cristalli?
through with Liquid. What are
Damn.
we thinking?
The problem is not the D Viper wall. For the attack is going to be fine because there's going to and that's one is very good, especially very good at lurking. He's going to be very good at conditioning. The problem with the KC wall was not the
1v1,
wall
3
itself, it's the
1v1s
fact
by
that it was not
Loida.
being utilized, so you're just wasting it. You
That's
know, like
crazy.
you expect to have some sort of effect with it, and it just wasn't happening. I think that Nats could be the one to change that perspective.
I think the key thing for me was that Alpha was not getting a lot of value on the chamber last time. We know how good he is on this chamber. We know how good this agent can be, especially on a map like this. He was taking that B main space a lot though, and he was getting a lot of information. So I think Team Liquid is about denying Alpha from getting onto those deep lines and hopefully shutting down his ability to get into the game. Because if he gets snowballed, then Alpha just takes over.
That's going to be the key, and we'll also see, I mean, without maybe the threat of the chamber on the other side, right? If Fnatic's adjustments from the last game might have been a little misdirected.
I think the key takeaways from me for Fnatic are the attack side. Wasn't too impressed. I think there was a lot of mid defaulting.
Very good at attack.
I don't think they're very good at attack at all. I think if they continue down the road of just going mid defaults, I think they're going to be into some trouble. I think that you use middle after you kind of see what's happening on those extremities. I think as well, they obviously don't have a VOD on Liquid, but I'm hoping in this agent select right now, they're looking at the comp. They're seeing the fact that there isn't a hard sentinel, and that means you can do flanks. And flanks in this map are going to be, much like other maps, pretty good. And when there's no sentinel to call it out, that is very strong. So I'm hoping that a bit of a, you know, in the moment kind of game plan.
They're definitely thinking about the sentinel. They're definitely thinking about what they can do. 100%.
Yeah.
Bro, an EMEA tech pause.
Just, you know.
Pink socks up on the desk as well, you know, getting them out for free.
He's known to get them out for free.
Okay.
Well, all right, give us some insight. Minnie, when you were part of this team, how did you approach a brand new map?
A brand new map?
He wouldn't, he would ban it, sorry.
Yeah, I'll ban it. Or I get a different coach who's smarter than me to do it for me.
Delegation is part of the toolkit, I suppose. You've thrown me with that one. I'm finally thrown. Kukuga, what do you want that we haven't had yet?
What do I want that we haven't had yet?
What do you want that we have had? What do you want on this summit?
I'm honestly going, if I'm very honest, I'm going on a list of in my head of things that I cannot say out loud. So please get me out of here.
Well, why not cut you off? Instead, we'll hear from these two very fine gentlemen. We got Mitchman and Tom Biz to bring you through the second summit of EMEA.
Thank you very much, Darth Mike. Yes, we do. A little bit of a specialty for us, and Fnatic on Summit as well. And look, there was a lot of learnings going through that last matchup that we saw, and I do agree with Minnie. A lot of them for Fnatic will be on the attack side. So this first half, well, I guess we get to see how they deal with a comp that it doesn't seem like a lot of people are a big fan of in terms of what Liquid have brought to bear.
It's just a bit dull, isn't
Yes.
it? Like it's
That's kind of been Liquid's compositions, though.
we saw a lot of like people running like cool, interesting things. Yeah,
I
I
thought
got to
Kicks
see
would play the Harbor here.
maybe, but no, it's just a little bit more standard. But I don't actually
Where's
necessarily think
Wayne?
that's a bad thing. I think
Where's
a lot of teams are still
Wayne?
figuring out the map, and
For
if you're
sure.
just playing more comfortable agents, I actually think that's what has been one of the big changes for Liquid in general, is that you now getting everybody on roles that actually look quite comfortable.
Yep.
You then put players in positions that make them comfortable, and you put Nats on a Viper, who is the best Viper lurker on
Okay.
Earth, in a map where there's currently
Cloud
plenty
playing
of
his
gaps.
life.
Sounds like a dream.
Default
There's like Fnatic got worked
1-2-2.
on a couple of times, but they also dished that out in equal
Liquid.
proportions. For Team Liquid, I'm worried about Camo's impact here. Yes, I think the
Think-
flashes can get you out of a choke point, but
Yeah, I
with
think
so
they're gonna
much
ace
cover to hide
split.
behind for defenders, I don't know how easily you'll be able to capitalize off that. I suppose we'll find out. Getting to see this comp in play. Dull in general,
Yep.
but perhaps not here on this map. Let's see. Purpo opening it up nicely, and Kayak wants to re-aggress. This has
Damn.
been his spot
Purple
to
with
defend
2.
throughout the last time we saw them play this, but mission failed.
Okay,
Right
it's
off
on
rip, Liquid
Cloud.
might just have the A site. Cloud's the only one standing in their way. And that flash hasn't
Oh.
caught, but the trade is instant from Trex.
Hey,
Created a
4v2.
new gap that he had to flash around, and yeah, that didn't work either. But it's gone well other than that for Liquid. We saw at the beginning their pistol stats so far were horrific. I think it was said 1 and 7, but they're in a good spot now. Althea
I mean, only a
Still
Fade
alive.
Eye.
was highlighted by
And
Vinny, so
3
no one's surprised that if this man gets going,
3
it's
headhunter
very
bullets.
difficult to stop. Luckily, he never got going. He's been shut down by Trex immediately, and for Crashies, I feel like he's more reliant on everybody leaving
Trex
and him
for
getting a
3.
ninja defuse, and that did not happen. Trex was diligent, and Liquid have the pistol round.
Yeah, a solid opening from Liquid, and I like to see already that we're looking at mid-control from this attack side here in the pistol. It's going to be a big factor, or at least that's kind of what we talked about going into the last game, or the first game that we saw of Summit here within this region. Fnatic last time around, we thought mid would be a big part, and it wasn't really. It didn't seem to be for either team a big section of that playbook. Defending it, sure, but getting in there.
Hey,
sinking
Outlaw
your teeth into
Marshall.
it, not so much. Liquid
2
started out with
rifles.
1-0, and now the investment
And a
an
sheriff.
Outlaw and a Marshall to play with. Is strange to see them both on the attack side. For Fnatic, the only real hope is that Headhunter. Already Nats has claimed one, and the fear of the Outlaw would normally send people running, but they did go running towards him. Unfortunately,
It's
that
gonna
hasn't
be a
worked out.
flawless.
Wow. Well, now this round looks like it's
Anti-eco.
done. I can tell you what my favorite storyline of this entire matchup
do.
is. And it's one that many will have forgotten, but I will never. And that is about this man, Purpo, the man who's looking to try and close out the round. He made a debut for a team called Mech. He was subbed in to the 4th map of the last game of LCQ
I forgot about
as his debut, got absolutely obliterated.
Smash.
Damn,
And because of
Nats.
that, Mech didn't manage to make it. The team he lost to was Team Liquid, and the man who subbed him in was Eng. That's a damn good storyline, if I do say so myself. Vengeance!
He was set up by Yang, and now he's...
And now he's on the team that beat him and gets the chance to play against him. Tell me that's not a cool storyline. Not well, play against him theoretically, obviously the man,
Yeah.
the floaty head in the back rooms, but maybe a chance of vengeance. I don't know if Purpo sees it that way, but I'm
What a-
going to make it seem that
What
way.
a day it could have been. Liquid had Lohan their first game. Imagine Fnatic in their second. Pull up with Ang. Yeah, if only, but
Oh, he'd have dropped 50. Just on Eng.
50 deaths. So 2-0. A solid start from Liquid. They do the second relatively easily. Deal with that mid-aggression beautifully. Nats conceding space and making them pay as they round each corner. Very nicely done. Now Fnatic have a full buy
Oh.
and no Kayak. An immediate shutdown. Camo tagged them for a couple, and just enough for Nats to one-shot. Now, man disadvantage for Fnatic, and what do we do? no info. They might almost have to start fighting for some piece of control themselves, but where's that going to be? B main, it looks like. It's telegraphed, though.
Well,
I'm surprised Purpo
I
doesn't have
think
his
they're gonna
weapon
have
out,
to
knowing
fight
that
for space.
they revealed there moments ago. Now the smoke has gotten them across. It's a little bit dangerous. Luckily, he's going to be given a chance to get away.
Yeah, knows that
They
they've
answer
progressed on that
Boaster.
side of the map, and the question will be, well,
Boaster's not in a tradable position.
They're going to look to try and fight this. Purpo a little bit ahead of the curve, but the rest of Liquid look to back him up. The steps running away might be bait though. Crashies is waiting.
Surely we clear.
And give Crashies a massive opportunity. A quick double, but the trades from the rest of the team are good enough that they hold their advantage. Rotation in from Cloud. Seconds away
Timing
from being able
peak.
to find the planter, and well, he finds him anyway.
Two slows to play with. This could get very awkward. Both players sitting towards main. Nats a little further behind as well. This fast retake from Fnatic has caught them off. Nats was hoping to catch that rotation through mid, and that's a bait from Fnatic. They're waiting for the slow to fade to take that fight, but the high-low doesn't work. Second slow goes in. Nats
Oh, they're
on the
they're
angle, and he'll get it for free, but stepping back in here is going to be tough. The tap will pull him into the fight. Cloud goes wide, trying to avoid that one shot kill from Nats, but he will
Nats.
not do so.
1v1.
A triple from the Viper and a 3-0 start for Liquid as a result.
Yeah, no offense to Lohan, but he ain't doing that. 6-0. Nats. Even he crouches under the headshot angle. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing in those moments. He's a man who reads the game better than most, be it on an IGL level or just on an individual level. And it's a nice attempt from Cloud. And then that is something I do want to highlight as well, that I do feel like coming back in to this stage, Cloud has been the highlight for this team. I think he's been their best player. I think he's been a standout, which is a good thing, but also a little worrying. Like, I want to see more from Kayak especially. I think that we know the heights that he can hit, and although at times he's been decent, he hasn't blown me away just yet.
Hey, Eco Gamble.
Cloud res online, but not really the round
Semi-trap
to use it.
play.
Bit of a fight from Fnatic towards main, and that's Kayak dropped again. This is Pistols from the defensive side.
I mean, they
Not a
probably
whole
could have
lot to
punished if
fight
they
with.
threw a slow orb.
Spawn.
Yeah, he's been sitting either there or around this spot in pretty much all of the rounds. So passive, even as they're planting the spike. And that's going to be a big problem for Fnatic, because we're seeing him now with an outlaw. When he
They
has a
got
rifle,
info
he's
now.
going to start pushing forward in that space. And if Nats gets behind you, it's a big problem, as it could have been if Alpha hit
Damn,
that shot. That
Alpha
advantage
Air has
taken
been
back
shut
by Liquid.
down.
And they're moving towards the B site that's wide open.
Yeah, they're making constant moves on rotations, constantly grouping back up to try and catch anybody who does push.
Is this
It
an
looks
Alpha
like a
Air
clear
pie
game
game?
plan versus what has been that aggro setup of the Neon Chamber. They kind of need to be pushing around the map, and I think so far Liquid have done really well to sort of force those players out of positions, back to the site, and then give them an opportunity to execute instead. For the remaining three players of Fnatic, it would be optimistic to say they could win this round, but they might be able to at least make it a little bit costly. There's a Hunter's Fury on the other side as well if it really did get dangerous, but as you can see from Trex's positioning, he has no plans to use it. In fact, he's going to be the one fighting it.
Nat's just playing Perma-Senti on the Viper.
No orbs for him, but you know, 4-0
Said you guys need a wallop? Cool.
really can't turn
I'll
your
be in
nose at it.
spawn.
The rifle out for Crash, he's recovered, and making it at least costly on the other side, but two players going down. Liquid aren't really going to be bothered about that. A strong start here on the attack, and it looks like one of the main problems is those early picks. Liquid are being given those fights early. This was a pistol, so it's not the end of the world, but it's something to keep an eye on coming into the next round. So I feel like Kayak has been, well, he's 0-4, but he has been shut down early in most rounds.
Yeah, him and Alpha, which when you look at this composition is incredibly bad. Like, you don't want to see those two players having poor individual performances, because it's not like they bring too much else on the utility front.
4-4-0, 4-4-0, 0-0-0.
Probably be seeing a pause. We normally give that little bit of additional time. The worry, though, Hunter's Fury, run it back. Sure, they have a couple of ults of their own, but Liquid have the chance to poise, set the pace, and while Alfia given an opportunity, but not taking too much from it.
Yeah, the spams don't land through the box. Nightfall through to try to find that info onto Camo. The ult popped and dealt with by Alpha, but numbers still even. Liquid get their man back. And the play to the B site. not cancelled just yet.
They're bunkering.
Some space towards mid, and I don't know if they've got the read that rotate's been pulled as heavily as it has. Still throwing some util through. It looks like they're trying to find that info, or even find that pick. But Fnatic don't step out of line, and all the while Nats is working some control. Problem is, like, with Boaster pushing up where he is,
I think they're just gonna re-hit B.
If they go back in the other direction, he could completely cut off this rotate, and with the spike.
Oh, they're gonna wait for Nats.
It's all gonna come
See if he finds some space. If not, they're gonna be re-hit B.
Made things awkward for Liquid. It funneled them into a position they didn't want to go, and now that timer ticking. Alfie has also now managed to catch out Purpo.
Oh, nice.
The clock is ticking, and now
big duel.
actually, Boaster got killed.
Oh, what a rat!
This was looking really good, and immediately has diminished.
We love our
to an
rats.
advantage for Liquid, and they're going to get to run towards the other side of the map and get a plant for it.
You know,
Viper's ult towards cave.
6 seconds, no one can deny it. No one's close by, no utility to get in the way, and indeed locked in. For Liquid, this is an incredible round. The exact thing we were worried about. Nats having the rifle, the freedom to step forward and start filling in the space
they're
that
broke.
was once left to just defend. And once he does that, Kayak even went to check for him. He was looking for him, I'm not kidding, half a second before Nats rounded the corner, and Kayak was staring at it. But he turns to go and help in the other direction, and Nats has the read. I've seen players with wall hacks not read as well as that.
That's the insane thing about this round in general. Like, you looked at Bosa's position, look at the position on the map he died in as well, all the way at the back. He was waiting for them to turn around and go towards him, and somehow Trex still predicted it. And that's something we've seen throughout this game so far, is think of all the angles that Trex is late checking. He's like, okay, I'm going to go here, I'm checking this angle, I'm clearing these positions. He's very methodical in the way that he plays, and him killing Boaster is the decisive factor. He plants with 6 seconds left. If he even just whiffs slightly and Boaster slows him down, they lose that round.
Down to the wire, but... well, those are the kind of rounds that you used to see all the time from Fnatic. Very patient from Liquid. And I do think that's one of the reasons that we see them come in here choosing this map. After what we saw last time, like
13-0? I think we got a 13-0 on the radar.
All that blind space left open. He's been filling it in beautifully, and this is a guy that knows.
Fnatic hasn't really used any ults besides.
Sure. Look at this matchup. It's one that dates back. And this
besides
is
Sage's ult.
But this is just as since we have been in that partnership era, and it has been a back and forth all the way through. Normally, in the best of 3 stages, that's where Fnatic rules.
I mean, it is Liquid's pick.
When it comes to qualifying to the event, is where they are spoiled by Team Liquid. Even this year, to make it to Santiago, that drop down after they lost the previous best of 5 final, our 3 finals, and our unique kickoff.
Man,
and
if Liquid make champs
from them 3-0.
and
so
Fnatic don't,
we've seen this matchup many a time. We have seen the players within it change.
that's pretty doomer.
At least for quite a while now, we've had
that's
that
pretty
Liquid
doomer, actually.
Nats versus, of course, Fnatic Boaster head-to-head, and it's
like Fnatic not making a national event this whole year, that would be crazy.
They have a plan. They have thought of how to beat the one time they saw Fnatic play, and so far for Liquid, so good. 5-0.
Oh, well, it couldn't really be going any better, could it? You got Trex 8-1, you got Nats playing the flank game like it's 2021, and for Fnatic, a timeout early on. Attempt to stabilize.
Entry from Purpo.
Hemorrhaging rounds. And Liquid have already made their way through to B. You know, my concern with this comp was how are you going to get in there? And it was just a dash in from Purpo. Backside taken. And
I mean, they're on a
eco
half by.
But he did make that look incredibly clean. And well, at least you might now be witnessing what Eng saw in him all those years ago. Why he thought he could sub him into that Breeze game. I'm a bit sad Breeze isn't in here. That would have been a
Purpo's low
for my storyline. That shot's coming out though. This got very interesting. And with Alfia
still has a gun.
Still is. Trex in the corner though. Might just wait for contact.
This is.
And then look to
Oh my god.
Okay, there you are.
I was just about to say Liquid.
And more importantly,
We're taking a double peek off contact, but they just got punished for it. Damn, a 1v4. They needed that round.
To the very end, some headhunter shots landing is one thing, but this prediction in the 2v1, the instant flick back
You're talking about wall hacks, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He knows something that we knew. And 5-1. The first round, off the back of the pause, someone called Alpha pop out with a 4K.
Yeah, Alpha, you may only have 1 kill, but now please get 4 kills in this next round.
Great call.
Eng's a genius.
This is why they pay him the big bucks.
Or maybe it was Desmo. You know, I don't want to take credit away.
Yeah, listen, don't disrespect Desmo. He's got those kind of strats up his sleeve.
Also, he'll throw hands, you know.
He'll throw more than hands. You don't want to find out. Kicks has gone for an aggressive TP. I pray to God you never find out. Paranoia from there was interesting. It has at least gotten them the kill on the Crashies, but he's traded his life for that pleasure. And Fnatic. Oh,
damn, Liquid just doubled down.
Yeah, it's so quick on it as well.
I mean, Buster gets ult
4v3.
if he gets a pick.
Boaster has at least held on to some ground, but it's safe to say they're fairly aware that the drop could have a player within it. The stun's perfect.
That's
Purple
ult.
just hiding within the corner. He might be a
Timing
nasty
peak?
surprise.
Oh.
He should have been. Instead, but
Liquid
I didn't
win.
expect him to get Alpha, but he does. And even managed to escape back around the corner. Nats also holding on to deny Cloud. And now Boaster, the man that's been here
We
for
just
a while,
wasted
eventually
ult.
meets his maker. It's 9-2.
Because
for
we don't
Nats.
really have any
It's
util to
6-1
dig him
now
out
for Team Liquid.
of the spaces.
Yeah, a really tough start from Kayak. Getting picked off there before they can really get themselves into the site. I think Boaster's utility has been good since kind of the first half that we saw him play of this map. There were a couple of issues there, but it really tightened up. His stuns especially have so much value. We saw it in that round, and thinking back to their last game so often towards A-Link, he was harassing anybody who wanted to keep that control.
He is a stunner, I agree.
that he is. In those lock-in shorts. Swim shorts as well. You can get them wet. Good thing. 6-1 for Liquid.
Right.
A strong start that's about to get even better, you would think. Alfie are at least going to pop the ult, but the rest of the squad, not exactly well armed.
Okay, double ult on a site.
Still, a
They
lot
need
being
this kill.
committed into this round for Team Liquid. Blades
Triple is up.
run it back already
Oh.
gone. Well, the blades are used for a pretty decent purpose. Tour de
Excuse
force in play for Althea. They have a singular round and it's off the back of his
Oh.
clutch. You know what? He's found a kill while blind. Even
3v3.
3v3. Crashies has found an operator.
Double
Not a gun
op.
he's renowned for, but maybe he can make it work. Back to the pistol, not quite the headhunter, and Nats
Jesus.
are there again.
They're
to
rinsing
finish off
them.
the round. A half victory already in the first 8 for Liquid, and Fnatic falling further and further behind.
Yeah, that is an expected loss, of course, but a decent chance there with the operator recovered. Look, Kayak, he's already having a tough game. He slides in with the ult to try to get back in on this low-buy round. Thinks me and Alpha pop the ulties, it's going to make the difference. Right-clicked by the Jet Knives immediately. That's a pretty deep cut delivered. 7-1. It's starting to get out of hand. And we get another buy out of the defensive side, but this one has to have some signs of life in it.
Yeah, and especially thinking back to their last match, it was 6-6.
Bro, how does
by the
Cloud
half to
take
go
some
to overtime,
damage?
So it's not exactly like we saw a massively favored half.
It was a shock dart like that. Well, not quite as curved, but you know what we're talking
It's
about.
got the bendy shock.
Yeah. It's windy on this map. It's all right. It's up high.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's like those golf games where you have to like predict the wind.
exactly. Yeah, you don't
Please
get an
never
arrow,
add
though.
that to the game.
Kayak, this is his chance.
Ooh,
One
good
at
trade.
least. It's a good player to take down. Removing those
Boaster's
flashes,
playing
is
top
Crashies gonna walk through
heaven.
that? Sitting in the smoke, I
Yep,
like.
he
and
gets
Boaster picking up that kill.
punished.
It really removes any need to play aggressive. Nats is waiting for a mistake to be made, and thankfully Crashies will not make that
4v3.
mistake. Thinking back
First
to the
time
very
Fnatic
same
has
position Fnatic last time
had a
around,
good man
double
advantage.
invaded a smoke and paid the price for it.
They have
The
Cloud
thing
just
is, I've
watching
seen
spawn.
Nats on Viper with this specific Phantom, and I just go, what chance do you have? Like, it's one of the most iconic.
I mean, if they
schemes
pinch
and
sight,
flows
Alfia is in
for
trouble.
him and him alone. And
His is TP on the
man
bottom
down in
of.
this scenario, but it's whether they find the gap. And as of right now, you can
Yep.
see. Look at Alfia having to check his own back. He does get away with the kill. That's the main thing. Now his teammates
Oh,
are
that's the
slowly
timing.
surrounding the remainder. Nat's still going to connect one, but Cloud is
Do they
so
watch their backs?
close behind them. It should be for free, but Nats turns around. Doesn't quite manage to hit the shot quick enough. It's now onto Tracks.
Oh,
Always very good at these
time.
scenarios, but there's no way he gets away with
that's
this
unlucky.
one. Needed a plant, no time, and Fnatic have a second.
He had 2 seconds to run around the corner. to spare. I think it was 6 on the clock when he went for the plant, but yeah, I just got a little too dialed in on it. Good work to fight their way back into this one. Pick from Boast are crucial, but it's Alpha not only taking that, but buying them a little bit of time for that flank to come around, for Cloud to pick off not just 1, but 2, and put that second round on the board for Fnatic at last. That res online and available for quite a while. And when it comes to Team Liquid, well, they've been putting bodies on the floor pretty frequently, so there should be an opportunity to use it. We see mid control again. This looks like a standard A split from Liquid, like we saw in the pistol, but Fnatic this time are ready.
Oh, trap play.
Hey, this is what we were talking about. I want to see them fight mid a little bit more, and it's not
Or
just
they're just
one
taking
player.
time in
No,
peaks.
it's a second prong on this attack, and it works well.
They have their advantage. Nats
Kicks.
will be forced to fall back. Kicks just got past.
Oh.
Boaster has
That's
absolutely no idea. A chance
Ooh,
for a doubling. And
2.
Kicks found the gap this time. We talked about the lurk opportunities from Nats. Good thing
We
is
know
this
it's in
res
mid.
being waiting. He was
Ooh.
waiting for the player that was caught in middle. Oh, it's just so nasty. You think you've got the plan of how to get back into the round.
Okay.
And
Liquid
Nats
have
is, I don't
layers.
even think 2 steps ahead would be generous. I think it needs to be more like 5.
I think the worst part about that is they spotted Nats on mid and went, thank God, no one's going to go behind us this round. At least for 30 seconds, we're safe. And then Kick shoots them in the back immediately for a double. That is crazy. 5 kills for Liquid, still a player alive. And it's Kayak who, as we said, has been struggling so far. For Team Liquid, they have done a remarkable job. The control on this map, from the very get-go, we saw it in the pistol round, but it was round 3, or round 4, I think, where Nats crept up behind on A. That was the first warning sign, the alarm bells ringing, the submarine alarm at full volume. And now it seems like Fnatic are sinking to deeper depths.
Oh, they
I think they're
hear.
pinging either. It looks like they're pinging where he walked out from, because that's the thing. You look at that from their perspective, and you've just got to think like, how has someone managed to just walk out onto the A side and then get 2 kills from it? Like that's a big blunder from their part, and I do think it becomes a problem where, okay, sure, this is a newer map, sure, there's going to be mistakes being made, but they are now being caught regularly with their pants around their ankles. And for Liquid, well, that's a round that they lost the initial fights.
3 on A,
and
5 on
managed to come
A.
out with multiple players alive while you're
Ooh, Purple is isolated, but they get a trade back.
Still got 1 decent work from Kayak. They heard the drone coming. It looked like Fnatic wanted to push A main, but they heard the contact.
Do they tempo? They tempo. Insta kill off the ult.
Right off rip.
Instant kill on
Util's been
the
fantastic
ult.
so far. That's a little late.
Oh, stinger moment.
They walked into the trap, and now Alfier steps in with them, takes a double and leaves Camo all by his lonesome. The 3rd round here, crucial for Fnatic.
Well, Camo at least is going to get himself a plant unless Alfia can get there ahead of him.
Oh, it's time.
I don't think he will have seen him. No, that gives enough for him to make a move towards the other side of the map. Very far away from his ult. Of course, it was utilized in this round, so at least that's something that Fnatic don't have to worry about. But they do have to be very careful. Even losing too many players here would be hefty casualties. But with both the closest players coming through mid,
he could go hold an angle into
seems
spawn,
like Camo is locked
but he doesn't know where they're
towards the
coming
spawn,
from.
and they are starting to round the corner. He's expecting it,
Oh,
but a
that was
chance. Doesn't manage to connect the first shot, and while Alfia again is going to be the man to
Sad.
close out this round. Another multi-frag that brings Fnatic back to 3. I think they're desperately going to need that 4th round.
That is very optimistic for the orb to matter here. Cloud's the one to take the defuse. In case you're wondering, he's now 5 orbs away. I do respect it, you know? If he ended up 1 away by the end of the round,
the other
you'd be
2 have their
fuming.
ults, you don't want to waste it.
Yeah, I agree. It's just funny to see. 1 round left to play for. Apparently they think it's going to be a big one for Cloud. And I wouldn't be surprised with how he's played so far on this roster. But it is good to see. Alpha was 0-4 starting this out. He was getting shut down. And, you know, when we talk about these guys, Alpha and Kayak especially, if you have both of them having a tough game, it's almost definitely a loss.
Oh, that's one hell of a start. This time, both the players mentioned are going to find a pick a piece.
Stun sees Fade Eye?
And
Or no,
down.
Stun sees.
And Camo,
No,
he has an
Stun
opportunity to heal himself up,
Prowler.
but if he does, he gives away his position. So he almost has to stay on low HP for now, just to try and find that flank. Now he's got a possibility
He's got freebie.
of finding Alpha, yeah.
He's gonna go up the, surely he's not gonna go up the rope. Oh my goodness.
But now he has to go back down again. Oh no, mate, he might be able to shoot him from above. This is very interesting. Gets down silently. His sneaky play is working. His teammates are building into that side of the map. And Alfia, I can tell you for free, is going to be absolutely furious when he gets shot in the head for this. When he's waiting for his teammates to get closer, so it's a bit more of a surprise. There you go. Clever stuff. Gets them into the site for free. Hasn't seen anybody else. Now will look to heal himself up a little bit, of course, just by clipping the edge of that Molotov.
Oh, you're slow walking into the angle.
He needs to go looking for a little bit more. Goes down. A much tougher post now.
3 forward, they've got Olsen, Util. Yeah, makes sense. Then he wants
good
to
kill.
Trex one
10
over two.
bullets.
He's been gifted it, fights towards the back, but
And
Kayak
Purple just has
stepping up
an
in
off.
the final round, the final hour. It's nice shot by
no
Purple
time.
with the defuse. Undeniable at this point. 8-4 at the half. It was a tough start at 7-1 down, but that recovery might just have given Fnatic a chance.
Yeah, they were looking like they were going to be completely blasted out of this at 7-1 down, but a decent response. Nonetheless, with a new map comes new opinions. So while we wait for the second half, let's have a little listen to what our players thought about Summit.
Do you have one bold prediction for this map?
Someone will get the door closed on them and then die because of it.
My bold prediction for Summit that people will not really play Sage on it too much.
My prediction for the map is people will like it more than Pearl because it's the worst map in the game.
I think there'll be a lot of comps people will play, but eventually everyone will come to Fnatic comp. If we start losing, then we're going to swap and we're going to join whoever's comp is winning.
I'm pretty sure most of the teams will just perma-ban this map.
You do not need a Sentinel. It's kind of easy to play without Sentinel utility, so I just think it's not that important on the map so far.
Someone is going to die to the closable doors on this map. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen, at least in one VCT match.
No Sentinel needed on a map that, well, so far we've seen nothing but flanks. Maybe we can put that down to comfort though, right? Teams are going to get used to this defensive side, start filling in those gaps.
Yeah, there's so many holes in the map.
Yeah, and I think coming into this map in general, one of the most exciting things is when you look at the two leaders of these squads coming in to a map that is brand new. Very different ideas on how it should be played, as we heard from Boaster in that interview. They're going to define the meta, unless they're wrong, in which case they're going to take what anybody else does, which I think is the best way to be. But so far, what we've seen from Liquid has been good, but a lot of it has been them being able to find those gaps in space. I'll also jump in on what was said about not needing a Sentinel. I think it's easy to say that when you have Nats, and he can play Viper and just hold a site on his own. Like, it's like, yeah, we don't even need a Sentinel. It's like, yeah, but he is good enough that that works. Other teams might not be able to get away with that quite as much. Also, if you say that to everyone else and they don't run a Sentinel, Nats can find more gaps.
Exactly.
Clever stuff, Kicks. I like what you did there.
Yeah, I love the ideas. I wonder if we'll see Vitality playing a Sage as well. 8-4 for Team Liquid. A strong first half, but the memory of the last few rounds isn't exactly a sweet one. Fnatic did start to heat up, and players that were missing turned up. That was one of them, Alphier. But he's been put to bed very early on. Defensive aggression out of Team Liquid, showing they're not afraid to take a fight.
Then the box made paper.
Reinforce that point.
I feel like he's just been cracking his aim ever since he was benched. Like, he's been so crispy since he came back into the roster, and you can see why this man seems to get many second chances. He is incredibly talented at the video game. And well, it seems like everybody is at the moment on the Liquid side. I'm pretty sure it was them who had the poor pistol record, but right now they're making them look very easy indeed. Two players standing, Boaster and Cloud. The IGL and the ex-IGL, who might be helping out a little, who knows. He's definitely giving positive motivation. I've seen that every time we cut to him. He's always trying to help the vibes of the team, which I think is a very good thing. I don't know if he's going to be able to do too much in this one. Well, it ends up as an in-zone flawless. A very comfortable pistol round for Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's a team that came into this series 1-7 when it came to pistol rounds. Certainly stepped up to the plate in this one. That's 2 for 2. And for Team Liquid in this round, it looked like they had the perfect read every step of the way. Camo taking that space deep on mid while he's covered by, I think, Purpo and Kicks. And then moving back here with the 2 players left alive, I already thought that smoke timing was perfect. The walkout from Trex timing was exquisite. He's on site by the time they get there. And then he shot someone through the smoke as well. Just the cherry on top for a solid Team Liquid opening round. And off the back of it, an eco for Fnatic, potentially looking down the barrel of a 10-4 deficit. We're definitely seeing the reason why Team Liquid wanted to play Summit today.
Oh, the Headhunter is the only real
a headshot
piece they have to this puzzle. And well, they're forced to retreat.
Damn, where is that dart?
The trail might have given away Purpo's position, but that's all the information that they have. And I think all Fnatic can really hope to do is maybe fight for an orb or hope to drop a weapon or two. Because everybody has purchased over on the Liquid side. It's a very safe second round.
Spike down mid.
Well, it is an in-zone flawless thanks to the safety from Team Liquid, which did include a bit of a deeper mid fight. And look, we saw it on the attack, a lot of presence around there. The first 2 rounds, certainly in the pistol, showing Liquid with defensive aggression, showing a lot of control towards that mid area. And I think as the buy rounds come in, we'll see more of the same. That was an eco from Fnatic, so it being a flawless, not the end of the world, but losing this one might just be.
Yeah. This is where we really need to see some life in them. Even if we're just looking at the next map, so building into this attack side. Let's see how Fnatic are feeling about this one. It's not gone great, but let's listen into the comms.
Middle there. I think the vibe. I think the AWP is on middle or something.
Just pick. They're rotating towards B back. Can you smoke a yard or something? Or...
No, just pick. Come. Just pick. 1, 2.
Don't make noise.
Oh.
Spike down
2.
mid.
Just gonna walk out here. I don't think there'll be another one.
It's so long.
Over. Give him.
Was that?
Last player standing.
I'm in. Okay.
Well, if you're Liquid, you couldn't be happier with that round unless you found out Jack Igo was giving you a gun, buddy. 11 on the board. Well, that is unless Cloud can come in with a big play. He has got the spike. Okay, and he's behind enemy lines. They seem to think he's sitting outside the A site.
30
and
seconds
he's
left.
going back in the wrong direction. I mean, he doesn't know. He's playing this one blind.
Yeah, Trex does know.
To be fair, a plant on B,
Did he come back with
probably a
walls?
loss, but...
Did he come back with like... What? That's why he was locked into that angle for the past 30 seconds. He was like,
I mean...
He is here.
Conscious, that's something that I'll give a lot of props to Liquid for, is that they've been exploiting the gaps, and then it stands to reason when it comes to the defensive side, they're much more conscious of them as well. So, yeah, even we saw Nats going back to the B site to clear it. That, on the other hand, I'm not sure that's about knowledge of the
Genuinely,
map.
Trex has been insane. He's 18-5. Like any other time, I'd just be sat there hyping up Nats, which is something I very much enjoy doing. And he's 16-5, but he is being eclipsed by Trex.
Oh,
He's
this
just
map
having
is
a
over.
ridiculous game. There's no one on their side who's having a bad game, but they are looking unstoppable. The only defeat they've had so far was with their coach, but I didn't expect them to be this good. That's a better start, though, for Fnatic. Kayak with
Disgusting.
an opener.
Just
Those
like
have been
me.
few and far between, but they are very far behind on weaponry in this round, so still a lot to do.
A nice pickup by Purpo.
Damn.
No space towards the B side,
Logical.
sort of locks Fnatic into this A play, where the majority of Liquid are waiting. Nice pick by Kayak. A man who has had those struggle rounds, but showing up in one like this, stopping Liquid from hitting
he's walled up.
12. Nats is on top of the wall. Trex has found Kayak, I believe, through the smoke. And Boaster and Alpha now find themselves against the numbers, but look at Alpha. He's on that
They're
sneaky
gonna
round.
crunch on.
There's a wall from his own
Oh,
team, so
there's
of
a
course they'll
wall.
never expect him. It's a 300 IQ play, except for the fact that they do expect him, because they're going here. Drex is on his way with Purpo.
No, now they know.
What? He's just baited him for Drex! He knifed on the corner, dashed in and updrafted. They are playing with their food right now, gifting Drex the 20 bomb. And geez, he deserves it. 20 and 5. Listen, load up Lotus.
Eng's actually just going right now. He's like, see, I told you this guy was good. Now you see why I wanted to sub him in for Mech for the first and last map he ever played. I think it was Mech's last ever map, but let's move away from that.
Sickening. That's actually sickening. If he hit that outlaw shot.
He might have done.
He might have, yeah.
He might have done. 12 and 4.
Yep, I'm seeing chat.
Coming into today, I don't think it was this.
On them.
You are.
Styling
you are.
literally.
Might be famous last words. We'll see. That might get clipped later on. But
they just don't have the counter.
No. In this circumstance, it is another blistering start to the half. 5-0 in the first half. 4-0 in this second one. If you're good at math, that makes up the majority of the rounds that Liquid have. And for Fnatic,
And they got kick ass on the
it would have to be one
dice.
of 8 rounds in a row needed. And I'll be honest, their rounds are so few and far between, I can't see it happening. Like, it just looks like Liquid have come in, especially on this map. Maybe it'll change going into Lotus, but on this map,
I've still been streaming. Just like odd hours. 1 a.m.
And considering the fact that we saw Fnatic play this already, we've seen them leave it open constantly.
I think I'm still figuring out my schedule.
See things change. Because for Team Liquid,
Nothing too crazy.
they've exploited every week.
Plus I'm off today.
Underlined the difficulties Fnatic have had with this map. We talked about it coming in, about how both teams in their previous matchup were being flanked on. There were gaps constantly.
Yep,
but for Liquid coming in today, you
How's
sort
it
of
been?
expect
How's
that
it
to be the
been?
case as well. But it looks like they have many reps and officials on this map already. They look so comfortable. And as Lohan said, they are styling on Fnatic, at least for now. Lotus should change things, but there's a lot of wind in those sails.
One round needed. Of the next 8 for Liquid to go in with an advantage, their map choice. And, well, we saw KC try this just the other day, and it not go anywhere near this well.
Poison's off.
Nats already has spotted out the pressure put into mid, but doesn't use his snake bite immediately. He's holding it to a point where they
oh man,
like, genuinely, how does he know that? Like, they are on the exact edge of it. Even looking to try and take the fight, and he kills and gets out. He goes back for more. Okay,
nice.
Gets a little greedy sometimes.
Yeah, everybody going through it, at least a little
20
bit.
seconds left.
That's such a good fake.
For Fnatic to make a move, and they are being slowly encroached on. Alfie has won the fight. This is now a
Oh, they're getting pitched.
And they've caught Trex as well. Good work from Kayak. That was the main danger left remaining in that round. This one should be theirs. Purpo doesn't even have a gun out. He doesn't even have a gun out. There we go. Kayak closes. A 3K for him. He's been building into this game as well. Now they only need 7 in a row.
Yeah, that's good.
Was great for Fnatic there. The smoke fades in towards A main as they swing out. And Kicks is caught between a rock and a hard place after that pickup from Alfier. Really nice work from Fnatic, but
No, the summer has been flying by fast. It's about to be the end of July. Next thing you know, it's going to be summer and we start all over again. Or, not summer, winter.
Shut down in that first half.
Yeah, I think, especially going into Lotus, a map which historically they are renowned for, as long as they're not running that weird triple senti comp again. I hate that comp.
I think that might have been intended to land a little further on the edge of that roof. It didn't actually reveal the players down below. And for Liquid, it might have meant pushing all the way up. But Camo is very patient with the angle he's taken.
Makes you realize, like, damn, need to travel some more.
And a flash, even if he wants to
need to travel, see some places, eat some good food, meet some new people.
Them down and allowed Camo to just walk back
but at the same time, like,
but it looks like They're thinking of
Like if you're at home
because there wasn't a quick reaction on it.
and like your home is pretty comfy, then
Look to hold it together. They still have the
I see why
operator.
people
Now,
just
the problem is
stay home and
the build-up
chill.
towards
Don't
A
really worry
leaves
about
Nats
traveling.
completely alone. The positive is, it is Nats already hitting the dig, and he goes back for it, gets rid of Boaster, and now we'll look to play this as a retake. Sure, the res is gonna keep that player alive.
30 seconds left.
But still,
Yeah, I think seeing like places or like traveling to places makes you realize like home is cool, but it's like cool to see like new places.
Thought it was ahead to start with, but the Hunter's Fury connects as well. Cloud sprinting to try to get the heal on, and it'll
Eat
save
new
his
food.
life. 2 HP. Cloud gets up to 40 in the end. He can take a shot, but not much more. Needs to be quick and clean, and it looks like
Even if you go to like a McDonald's in like Europe,
giving him a second lease of life. And Boaster,
there's always just something new, even if places look familiar to home.
who's looking for the fight.
1v1? Oh, Boaster.
And striking for the Red Bull clutch.
It's a ridiculously tight round with so many different ultimates thrown into it. Hunter's Fury run it back for one side, the res, which actually brings back Boaster, by the way. The guy that ends up clutching it out. Cloud
And that heal saved him. 2 HP left.
after being tagged down to just 2 health at a point.
Yeah, it makes me think,
With a high impact clutch that keeps
because at least since I'm from California, if I go to like Miami or even like I went to Toronto, it just looks similar to home, but like it just feels different.
Challenging someone with an advantage already under
Like
the
even
belt.
when you go to like Florida, especially if you live in the city, like
Fnatic have come back from
I mean the weather for sure is a lot different, but like
nonetheless, especially with how Liquid have been playing, it's hard to imagine they don't find that one round, that one individual play.
I think you just always come out with a different perspective.
They're going to try to use his ult to sell a bit of a ruse. Reveal from Crashies towards this A site.
Just shit, like I think the only exception to that is like Vegas. Vegas is its own place. Like it's like a destination resort place. But at the same time, like if you go there often enough, then it just feels the same. Just because it's kind of really small. And most of it is just hotels and resorts and like one small spot, I guess. Because everybody say, hey, go to the strip. You go to the strip, it's the same. Oh. GG. Everybody says, oh, go to the strip. Then you go to the strip, you just realize it's just a bunch of walking, hotels, maybe some different bars, some different, some stores.
Last time, and those issues were still there for Fnatic, but Liquid looked more than prepared.
Impressive from top to bottom. Like you might see kicks further down the board, but you just look at the impact his Paranoia had. His timing on
then you realize it's just a city in the desert.
The likes of Trex and Nats, 23 and 22 kills apiece. It was a phenomenal.
Like at least I compare it to like other cities like Miami, Orlando, because then like there's always other places in Florida that you can go to. Whereas Vegas, the nearest place you go to is just back to SoCal or Arizona.
No problem. That one looked comfortable. What do you like about the map?
I don't know, it just looks nice, honestly. I like the music also at the start of the map. I think that gives a little bit different vibe, so I like the map.
Always important to have your decision making on point. Headed forward, right? Fnatic now down a map. You're feeling strong. Team's looking great. Trex looking incredible. You guys ready to close this out 2-0?
I mean, we do our best and we'll see how it's going to be. It's Fnatic, Lotus. We'll just do our best.
That's all you can do. Good luck, man.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back after this.
Alright, so I want to see stats. I'm rooting for Liquid. I think I like their team. I think they made some odd roster moves, but I think I will always root for Liquid just because they're kind of the underdog. Fnatic are always like, you know, the favorite. Everybody's rooting for them. I'll root for Fnatic in different situations, like if they play like a Team Heretics or BBL. But I think I just like to root for underdog teams. So like I'll root for Eternal Fire, Liquid, Carmine Corp, unless the team is trash. Like Carmine Corp was bad last stage. They didn't want to get a win until this stage. And so now that they're winning and they have like some somewhat good form, I'm rooting for them. I think the only time I'll discount a team is if they're in like a champs. Cause like if we go to London, where's playoffs? Like EDG Foot, I'll root for EDG. Vitality Heretics, I'll root for Vitality. Always root for the NA teams. Vitality Foot, I would root for Foot. Because I think Vitality fall under the same boat as Fnatic. Just an overhyped team that hasn't done anything recently. Damn, just one more week. GX, Liquid, Gentlemates, Team Vitality. Oh wait, it's only 4 matches. I just realized that. But yeah, I think while we're on the note of traveling, I'm just places I haven't been to is like Japan, South Asia, China. I know they're doing Shanghai. I think it'd be pretty cool to see Shanghai, Hong Kong, maybe even like Beijing. What else is there? And I just bring it up just because I'm like, damn, like I've been to places that speak English, and I know that a lot of like even like Japan, like they do speak English, but like I'm sure like if you go to a lot of overseas travel spots, like there's a lot of like culture shock and a lot of things that you don't normally think about. Yeah, that's the thing. I think we just get so caught up in life that we don't really think about traveling. We're always thinking about like our career, you know, trying to get stability or, you know, trying to get to our goals. And so I feel you. It's like, it's so easy to just be like, oh, you know, worry about my own life. But then you got to set aside time to be like, oh, I want to travel. I think what's even crazier is like the people that like travel like consistently. Like I follow a couple of people and I'm like I DM them, I'm like, hey, how do you travel all the time? Because they're always posting like they're in Paris, they're in again Shanghai, they're just in all these places. I'm like, damn, like is somebody paying you to be there or do you just have the money to be there? That is crazy because like only time I think I'd travel for long periods of time is like if I were to visit Europe. Because that makes sense. Because like you're trying to hit up like let's say like Spain, Paris, Switzerland, Germany, you know, all these places within like one span, then that makes sense. But like if I'm going from place to place, like I'd rather just go home, reset, and then like then go to another place. Any destination spots? I know one that's kind of underrated is Hawaii. I know that's still part of the US, but like I just always wonder what it's like to be on an island. Like just be completely engulfed by water, but like still have like the nature aspect and the beach aspect. I'm thinking like, yeah, I feel Hawaii is pretty underrated. Like I think a lot of people, or a lot of what I think, I don't think about Hawaii. I think about, at least recently since I've gone to Canada last year, I think about going back to Canada, like Montreal, um, you know, the big destination spots like Paris. Um, I think Hawaii just doesn't become on my radar. At least that's why I think it's underrated. I haven't personally been, but from what I've heard and I know people that live there, it just is a place that I do want to go. But it's like, yeah, because like if I think of priority, think of Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Spain, Morocco, Italy. Damn, that's one I haven't mentioned. Norway, Sweden, Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, South Korea. Damn, there's a lot of places. Australia. See, I think even Australia. This is a huge chunk of land just sitting in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Germany, Scotland, Indonesia, New Zealand, Colombia. But yeah, I think in terms of priority, I think for sure like Japan, Korea. Then after that, I'd probably like if I were to go in that order of Japan, then Korea, then I'd probably want to cross the ocean, go into Europe. At least what I want to do is like again like the if I'm spending a month, probably gonna hit like all these places, maybe except for the UK, just because I've heard that the UK doesn't really have anything that interesting and it doesn't have that much great food. So like Spain, France, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and then even Greece. Always wanted to see what it's like, you know, the tourist spots in Greece. Russia. Yeah, I wonder what it's like. I have a friend that's Russian, or like half Russian, and he goes there to go visit family. And Russia's so damn big. Like, I wonder how, like, people, like, what's the destination spot? And if somebody wanted to, like, visit the countryside, like, what would they, how would they route? Because I know a lot of Europe is just, like, trains. Like, you don't even have to, if you want to go to Spain to Italy, you just take, you know, a couple trains and then you're there. Whereas you're in the US, you're going from, if you want to go to Vegas, you take a flight. If you want to go to Texas, you take a flight. If you want to go to even up north, Oregon, Washington, Vancouver, Alaska. I heard Alaska is pretty beautiful.
Are up against. We know this is going to be difficult. I think that this composition is one that should help Fnatic thrive. But the last map was so underwhelming. I kind of need to see the same edge that we get from Fnatic normally.
We need to see that second half Fnatic, where Alpha Air was activated, where Kayak was starting to put up those numbers, and Alpha even towards the end of the first half as well.
All right, we're back, we're back.
Just a little bit of a blip towards the very beginning. That 0-4 start quickly became a memory. And, well, that last map of memory, they'll soon want to forget for Fnatic. A 2-0 squad. They're the only squad right now undefeated running through this group stage. We're talking about both groups in that assessment. Now it's under threat with Team Liquid 3v4, a team that hasn't been doing very well in pistols up until that last map. And they may be reverting to their old form.
Again, we see this regularly. The rotations played with.
Good read by Liquid. Again.
Yeah, already Nats moving over to that side of the map. Kicks looking to join. Camo has managed to dodge the...
Okay.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Oh.
He still gets the kill, though. Boaster's also tagged relatively low. It doesn't matter if you hit him in the head. And while the other players may have gone back towards that...
Oh yeah, Alaska.
This is still a
Oh, that reminds me of like not only like culture shock, but like places like Alaska, or even when I was in Vancouver, like where it's more daylight than you normally experience. Like, because I think in Vancouver, like it'd be sunny from like 6 a.m. to 9, 10 p.m. And like Alaska again is like one of those places where, depending on where you're at, what time, what season, it's just all day, either nighttime or all day
Yes, it is. It'll
sunny.
catch them if they're looking this way. Crashies, he spotted them, but he got blinded by that flash, and Camo's quickly able to trade.
Oh, Crashy wins this. Crashy wins this. Wow.
And it will land for the Red Bull clutch.
Yeah, it's definitely not as clean as it could have been with how it started, but Fnatic get the pistol nonetheless. That's all that's going to matter to them. And well, it definitely looked a little bit dangerous in the mix of it, the flash, making it a bit more tough.
Yeah, how was Alaska? What was it? What was it like?
The last player so low that
What was like one thing like that was pretty interesting? Because I know there is a lot of like nature spots, but like I just wonder like what's the overall vibe? Like, cause our I know what small town places are like, you know, a lot of places depending on where you're at. Like you'll go out of the airport and you'll be like, there'll be just like a lot of friendly people.
And the last man in, and the wall's gone up, and Nats has gone down. So a tough start to this one.
There'll be a lot of friendly people, or there'll be like, you know, shy people, or
Fnatic to quickly try to fill in the space elsewhere, but well, this is very patient from the attack side, and with a minute 10 on the clock, there's no wonder why. They've got a man advantage early on.
or like, damn, I can't imagine like one of those places, like especially, like I think of places in the south where people are like,
no longer.
What is it called? Like small town where everybody knows each other. Like you'll literally be driving, the type where you're literally driving on the highway, and you probably know the person that's driving next to you.
Might not be. You still don't want to give it a chance. The walk-up contact from Crashy spotted one.
Oh, nice.
Very nicely done. Easy peasy onto kicks. They know about Purpo now as well towards the site.
Damn.
Approaching it with
A work
a sense of
trip?
trepidation for sure.
Was it just
Really
majority
like
work,
these
or was it
distance
just
checks
like
after the last map.
maybe like one day work, rest of the time just getting to sightsee?
Being patient, calm, and waiting, he still gets it with the classic.
So far, not too much lost. It's those two rifles that we're looking at as the pieces that need to be kept. And although Cloud was isolated,
Damn.
he has absolutely no trouble dealing with Trex. For Camo, he seems to really love this bandit, but he's not going to get anything more. Relatively clean from Fnatic.
Well, at least you know, like at least the spot. So then, if you go to travel, then it's like, okay, I've been here before. You don't really have any like. You don't really got to think about, oh, I've never been here before type of thing.
In my opinion, Boaster's best map for calling. So it's going to be up to Liquid to kind of prove that they can still build that momentum from the last map. And they have pieces missing in this one. Sure, the Outlaw's not the worst thing in the world, but the Bulldog for Trax because of the Stinger, well, that come back to bite them.
Okay, big round from Liquid.
For now, at least.
Yeah, I think
Offered to him.
at least from what I've seen, a lot of people end up taking cruises. Or at least the people I know that go to Alaska, they end up taking cruises. And so I've always heard like, not only is Alaska beautiful, but like the journey there, depending on the time of season, is pretty like common. Good for people, or like good,
pretty good goal to have.
like good sightseeing.
So that's a reward they probably didn't expect to find that early, but again, they're
Hey, 4v4.
immediately into the space where they've taken the fight, but Camo is
still two players on this side of the map.
Oh, actually, that makes me think of like, well, yes, the UK doesn't like have anything. I think another thing is like the culture, like, or the first thing that came to mind is like drinking culture. Like if you go to the UK, I've always heard that like over here everybody thinks about like, oh, you're an alcoholic, whereas like in the UK, like you just think about, oh, you know, people are just going after work on a Monday, they go to the pub, or you know, that type of thing. Or maybe that's more of a thing in Ireland. But like either way, that type of thing where like you'll meet somebody and they'll say, hey, you know, let's go to the pub or let's go to the bar.
In with the C's, and it hasn't caught the snake bite.
He has time, and Cloud is low. He could get a half.
Swaps over to a Vandal, at least no reload needed. The classic in
Oh,
so
and he has time.
Quickly, and Cloud is blown away by it. 2-1 now.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I was thinking about. Was like, not only is it like about drinking, but I've always heard that like a lot, even with like the World Cup, a lot of like British people or people from the UK are like pretty like glum. Like glum in the sense of like, when I saw like there's a lot of like narratives for the England team, like people are always like kind of negative or like criticizing things about a lot of UK culture, or like even people that live, like an example is like TMV, who's a British VCT content creator. He says that, oh yeah, I hate London.
They wanted that to be a little bit more convincing.
Like, yeah, he may not be from London, but just like to be critical of like a place of where you're maybe not from, but like, you know, you're native to. Like it's like, oh, if I live in California, oh, I hate I don't know, San Francisco or something. But I'm pretty sure it has to do with like politics and all the stuff like that.
It's normally easier said than done.
But the main point was just like experiencing the culture, like the people that live in it, like they live every day there. So like going to pubs, going to bars, even like
through that Viper wall.
Because that's what I think about.
Their own utility to his advantage. He's going to go back for more, and Cloud
It's like,
definitely waiting for it.
I think a lot more people, yes, they go to bars, but it's like in the US, it's like, yeah, you'll go to a bar if you're on either on vacation or it's the weekend. And if you go to a bar like in the middle of the week, then that is like, people see that as a red flag. Whereas in the UK, it's just more of like a community thing. Like, you'll know people at the bar. Even if you go to the bar, I'm pretty sure they'll play like some darts or some trivia. Yeah, it's like more of a community thing rather than like seeing as alcoholism.
Rotations were successfully dragged to sea, but they've lost their confidence. And instead, they'll keep the credits over.
Yeah, I think it just looked a little segmented at the end. Like Althea.
But I think actually it may be a little bit of the same for Korea. Like, there's a lot of drinking culture in Korea, but it's like more to do with like eating places, Korean barbecue.
Liquid are playing this. Like, if you allow your opponents to have all of the space, all of the information to eventually execute in your
Korean barbecue,
end up in trouble. I think
even
that's the
like,
one thing that
I'm
Liquid
pretty sure they
can
have
do is you
like bars.
players like Purpo are not
But like the
afraid
point
to
is
fight
like,
anyone individually.
rather than like, you know, just going through the week and waiting for the weekend, people get off of work, able to take public transportation and just go and like hang out either at a food spot or at a
from every angle, leaving Cypher to hold that A site if the push came in. And it's only one man left as he steps in to find Nats waiting. An in-zone flawless for Team Liquid. And a beautiful change of pace and approach to this round that has left Fnatic on the back foot.
These are the sort of calls you need against this sort of composition where you're playing the time, you're playing the rotations. It's just a gut punch. And I feel like there's few IGLs as ballsy as Nats to just call that straight afterwards. You know they saved some weaponry. You know they were going to have guns going into this round. You knew that they would have some ultimates as well, and just completely obliterate them. And to do it flawlessly as well, because if we look at the showstopper was a bit of a whiff, but everything else went perfectly. And Purpo, he's been playing a fantastic game. This time he's got to be a little bit careful.
Tommy P.
Bear in mind they are also on a lower buy, so it doesn't need to be as risky. I think we're getting caught by the reveal intentionally. Maybe it was a little bit much.
But yeah, traveling is cool. I think we just all have to make the time for it and also not break the bank for it.
They don't end up with picks, but considering the round that it is, forcing Purpo back was good to remove that control, but he's back in with that control. And when this wall drops, if Cloud peeks out, he could be in trouble. Purpo is passive and patient as can be. Meanwhile, three-man stack up on the C site thanks to the confidence that they have in this Jet holding his ground. If Fnatic do decide to run a fake or... Well, to be honest, the spike is here, but I'm assuming late they want to go back towards Cloud if he finds
Yeah, that reminds me.
For now, he's given no opportunities. No one steps up and finally
I was like,
hit comes in.
oh yeah. Oh, hold on, let me lock it in real quick. 2, 3. Oh, that gunfight lasted a little bit too long. Alright, round is over. That reminds me, I was like 20. I went to Miami just because I had some coworkers. They were trying to go to a music festival, and I was like, oh sure, I'll join along. I was like maybe a month from being able to be 21 and drink or whatever. And my friends go, they get an Airbnb. I'm like, yeah, I could go for join their Airbnb, but I was like, nah, let me get my own. Let me get my own spot, you know, just so I have like, you know, a spot to not have to worry about, you know, either them like trolling me or, you know, just not. Basically, I would feel more assured since I was friends with them, but since they were still my coworkers, I was just like, okay, let me just get my own spot. I can handle that. If anything happens, like, you know, it's my responsibility, blah, blah, blah. And so then I go, take the flight. They have their own flight. I have my own flight. And we end up meeting at the festival. But damn, you would not realize how much, yes, Ubers are technically, like, inexpensive. Like, you'll get a ride for, like I don't know, like 15, 20 bucks for depending on how you go. But if you don't have a car in a lot of these like metropolitan areas that don't have public transportation, like $15, $20 a ride will add up. Because by the end of the trip, it was probably like only like a weekend trip. Probably spent like over like $200 to $300. And I was like, by the end of the trip, I was like, damn, my budget was like, you know, X amount. But now majority of it was just spent on like Ubers. Whereas if you go to like, you know, Canada, New York, you know, places with public transportation, it's literally only like less than a couple dollars a trip. Most of the time, like you can take a couple lines, or in this case, a couple trains, and like it'll only be like at most like $5. The cool part about at least when I went to Vancouver was just like everywhere you could go, everywhere you could pretty much reach everywhere without an Uber. You could take a train. If you live outside of the city, you can take a train into the city. Even if you want to go to another city that's like 20-30 miles away, you can take another line on the same train to get there. And if you want to get back to where you're from, you take the train out of the city into, you know, like the suburbs or whatever, and then you could take like a bus that's only like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at most, to get back to where you're from. Or even if you want to go to like a coffee shop, you could just walk there. Whereas like Miami, LA, you pretty much have to drive or Uber there. Yeah, Uber adds up for sure. I think at least the whole idea is like, okay, you Uber with friends, you know, it'll cut the cost. But like if you're Ubering with 1 or 2 people and you're constantly Ubering, then that it for sure adds up.
Change up again. Cypher set up on B this time. They'll fight the extremities. Info on one side with Kicks able to just get around that corner.
All right.
If he sees anything.
Let's talk it.
Purple's happy to take a risk. Go away. Okay, he's ran. And Trex. Okay.
Yeah,
most teams would get punished for that immediately, but they've gotten away with a spam through the smoke for an insane amount of aggression against an eco. Fair enough.
Timey peek? Damn, Purple is just taking these timey peeks every single time. Damn.
Yeah, cool. It doesn't need
Team Liquid 2-0.
No, he actually immediately popped it to go on top Rubble. The second he got it, I looked at the HUD and went, oh, did he not get a dash by? Did they change the game? 2 kills. No, he used it so quick, it didn't even pop up.
He's picked up a stinger.
Oh,
gotcha.
And it goes back to last map.
Yeah, I've been
and at that point, they absolutely
off of social media, even with like the streaming thing, just been a little bit inconsistent.
We're in for a bit of a competitive
or specifically Instagram. I feel like Instagram's so addicting that I just end up, if I feel too overwhelmed, I just end up deleting it. Let me re-download it.
And he's gone around for it. Basically took Alpha out. 31 HP. Trex might clean up.
Oh, they know he's here. Although at this point, they've got no time. 15 seconds left, and what Trex is like, all right, you could be the aggressor, I'll be the safe pair of hands. 10 and 2, not really dying, getting a ton of kills. Can't really ask for anything more, and 6 rounds in a row now. 14.
Yeah, it's so easy, like, it's so crazy how they designed it. It's like, bro, in any inconvenience, any sense of boredom, you just, it's just instinctual to like open the Instagram app, and then either it's your home feed or it's Reels, and next thing you know, it's like 20 minutes have gone by. Hey, I'm not, and also I'm not mad. It's part of the game. But like, it's always up to us and decide like, oh, when is too much. And at least recently, I deleted it, but I'll re-download it.
And they actually got 2 from that as well.
Yep. And
the A site is now fully stacked. Look at the A site. Look at it.
Exactly what happened last time. Unless Fnatic get
Hey,
the read that
3v5.
rotate happened that C was left open, which they would have to be completely guessing. They're gonna run
Bro,
into
that pixel
way
angle's
more players than they expect at this point.
so
Liquid are playing
hard.
Fnatic like a fiddle. It's a masterclass on the defense. You said this
Damn,
is
I
where
thought
Boaster
Fnatic
does
were
his
good at
best
Lotus.
calling, and I bloody agree. Historically, that's been the case, and it's not the Fnatic are playing a dog water game. They are being met by an unstoppable force. Liquid are evolving round after round, adding layer after layer to this, an onion defense that Fnatic, well, it's gonna be bringing tears to their eyes, seeing this happen every round, 7 in a row.
I think also the algorithm is so like crazy because like if you focus on something, like let's say like in like you know creative sense, like oh, if I love photography and I'm like hyper fixated on it, like either learning something, then I'll start to show you something. If you're into editing or you stumble across like a niche, oh. Okay, 3v3. Like if you hyper fixate on something, it'll just automatically start feeding you it. And even like it'll just show you constantly like new interests that you may like. And if you start to hyper fixate on that, then it's just a constant loop. And then even if you're there to learning something, it'll just throw in like something like entertaining, something funny. So it's just constantly feeding you new information, new entertainment.
Not the game I expected to see here today. Like it was impressive to see 5 rounds in a row with how they were playing them. But to keep on building, to keep on pushing. Well, this round started with a loss of
Gambit,
Purple
you know
towards the A
ball.
side, like in the
Team
round where
Liquid,
they're playing 2-1-2, Cypher set up on
easy.
B. The pressure put onto that C site should have been enough with 5 ultimates to work with, and Fnatic still can't get anything done, a dent at best. And look at this aggression. Okay. It's beautiful up close.
Oh.
Hold on! Trex! I don't know what happened. I think he whiffed.
They're just bum rushing side. Oh, Camo gets one. Camo's gonna get second one before he dies. Yep. Third? Nope. 2v2. Of course, Matt, my goat Nats is gonna rewrap.
Everything Fnatic try, it's like Liquid are listening to their
Of course, my goat's Nat.
In front of them. They're tracking every line.
Nats gonna get the kill.
Oh, Cloud's gonna walk into Nats.
Yep.
I have absolutely no idea.
See, I know ball.
It genuinely, it's like they are inside their heads. It's funny that you mention Lex Luthor, because I don't know if you've seen a Superman. For anybody who hasn't, close your ears now. But there is literally moments where he is countering exactly what Superman is doing to a T. And this is what that looks like. Even when it gets funky, even when it gets messy, they lose 2 players within the first few seconds.
Whoa, what is that?
Camo does incredible work to fight this back from
Graphic
here.
glitch.
Kayak, yeah, he tries to peek in off the back of the boom bot, but it's so ready. And then a full wraparound. Am I going again? Straight back in. Boaster would have been dead if not for the TP, but he gets out of there. Now he teleports behind them. Kicks has still found the opener. And you could see that they are looking behind. At least Trex was for a second, but they look to go forward. Continue this pressure. Surrounding Althea once again. He is having to fight, being boxed in. He is cornered.
He's getting crunched from spawn, but oh, I was about to say Camo's isolated. Bro, they're just running it down. Damn, they're just dying. They're just dying. Shoot back, Fnatic.
That's one of the most dominant defensive halves I've ever seen.
That was genuinely sensational from Team Liquid. We go to the halftime 10-2, but before we come back, let's take a look at Boaster's journey through stage 2 so far. I'll tell you what, they might leave this one out of the next video.
I'm sick of seeing these EMEA teams go to internationals and do nothing with their opportunities, so I really don't want to waste this opportunity for my teammates, and I'm going to work my socks off as soon as I get off this camera and head to office. Obviously, I want to be the GOAT IGL, the greatest IGL of all time in Valorant, and make my mark. Group collective of like wanting to achieve something together, and I really love that, being a part of something great and magnificent. This year, you know, it's not been the easiest year. It's been a hell of a ride, but I think there's still one more journey to go. Barcelona first. I really want to go compete on that stage. I think the reason why I still do this, obviously causing me a lot of grief right now, but I think the ultimate reason is for the win.
W's in the chat.
Well, the only team that's yet to face a loss in a series here in Stage 2 may just be about to join the rest of the pack. Team Liquid are 10-2 up. For Fnatic, well, Pistols have been good, certainly over the season, much better than what we've seen from Team Liquid, who picked up 3 so far, 2 of which were in the previous map. But even winning the Pistol in a couple rounds after, this is going to be a comeback that even Mini might not believe in.
No, I don't think there's many that will be believing at this point, and I'm almost starting to wonder if Nats could take another week off, honestly, if he needs some extra space, because right now,
this team just needs Nats. Whoa. This team just needs Nats. They are nothing without Nats.
You are doing a great job as a coach, but please never step on this stage ever again.
Damn, who did they play? Who did they play the first game where they lost?
No.
Unless it's to unmute your mic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love what you've done. I love what you're doing. And you know
Eternal
what?
Fire.
I'm sure Lohan's probably sat there thinking, I don't want to hear any more from this guy. So let's
Oh,
listen to Liquid.
deleted. Water. Oh, it's just a rinse.
Guys, play all main, everyone main.
Yes.
Let's secure the round. Don't give them shit, bro.
We have nade, we have satchel.
Just leave everyone. I'm gonna spam on site, I will TP out, guys.
Okay.
Can you just jiggle cross top side?
I have the cross. Camille, pick me lower, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not jiggling. That's me.
Water and side.
Chill. Don't pick.
I'm good.
Oh,
50 raise, guys.
guys, chill, guys. Let's close the map. Let's close the map, guys. Guys,
It's okay, 4v2. Let's relax, boys.
it's a 4v2. Just close the map.
That round badly, and now 10-3. Things are looking up.
I did enjoy the don't peek, and then an immediate peek from Purpo. Now the guy is feeling very confident, and I can understand why he said, I think I might have trolled, but yeah.
I like that he put the think in there as well. Like, it's possible.
I might have trolled, guys.
That was my fault.
Did you say don't peek? I'm not sure if I heard that.
Nobody can be certain whose fault it was, though.
Oh, Cloud's having a good time. And on for Kayak.
We can do it. We can do it.
They're starting to believe.
I'm sure that's a completely legitimate
Hey, you know,
opinion
win both pistols,
shared.
win both second rounds, and no other rounds. We'll have to wait and see.
Somehow I don't believe in the win on this.
See you
But with
later,
the nade on the
Purpo.
purple, maybe I do. It's a strong buy for Fnatic. They've got everyone bar one with a weapon in hand, couple SMGs, 3 in fact, but considering what they're up against, should absolutely mince them.
I mean,
problem more
the
so
Nets.
comes in the next round in terms of what you're bringing. Especially with Liquid so close to victory already. That's one pick and nothing else, surely. Okay.
Doing some damage.
Camo is very, very good with this gun.
Oh my god.
Very, very, very good with this gun.
This is now doable. He's been seen again.
Okay, Alpha's now got a Guardian rather than just a pistol. Long wraparound from Cloud might not be expected.
Oh,
very,
he's gonna ace. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh.
Okay, it will just be 4 Veris. Just 4. The Camo almost pulled off 1v4 ace. Woo! Woo! How you doing, Fnatic fans? How's your day going?
Well, the Bandit almost stole the round, and I think might have stolen a lot of hope from the Fnatic fans. That's a very, very big blow dealt. Look, it's very nearly a round win, which is the first problem. That should never have happened. But also, when we get back, look at the smile on Lohan's face. When we get back in, just take a look at where the credits are at. And take a look at the weapons that Fnatic have. I said they wouldn't be as well armed as their opponents. That's true, but they have given every credit they have to make this buy happen. A loss here is likely 12 for Liquid. Hell, it might be 12 for Liquid either way. very soon, but
Oh, Nats. Oh. Oh my god, Nats. Take over.
Nats has turned on aimbot.
Yeah, he's kind of been chilling for the majority of this game. Hasn't had much to do. He's the second layer to what's been in a very aggressive defensive side. And
Team Liquid don't throw. Team Liquid don't throw. Team Liquid don't throw. Team Liquid don't throw.
Now he's having a bit of fun on the luck.
Nice.
He's trying to escape the nade, get spammed
Nats
out.
is alive and well. Team Liquid are making champs.
From Liquid has been on point, and well, Cloud won the 1v1 to deny what was a 1v4 ace. Now he needs 1v4 of his own, and it's a difficult scenario of, do I hold on to the rifle and then we have one rifle and pistols, or do I go for this and then we probably have no rifles and just pistols, unless I win, in which case we have a chance, and that's why he's going to go for it.
Showstopper still to work with for Liquid.
It's just
It's
over.
not really needed. Even a couple of picks there, and I think that still falls apart. But now the Showstopper's online for the next round. This is tough. Nats hitting shots like this. That's a crazy flick. Immediately Justin's ready for Alfier to swing out. And Purple even missed that shot on the crashes. I think they got lucky a little bit there, and then that look ran out immediately with the season spam that went through. It genuinely feels like fate has chosen a side in this map, in this matchup, sorry. Like, Summit was all about the space that was being taken, the flanks, the control of the map. This is ridiculous. It's still control of the map, but it's ridiculous heads-up duels from Liquid, where on the defensive side they are pushing.
They're just gonna hit C.
They're putting very pressure on round after round. Showstopper here is going to get Liquid into the C site. And look how far back Fnatic are playing. No one wants to mess with that. Now, the question for Fnatic, Tom, is with these weak weapons, do you burn a Showstopper of your own to try to get back in?
I think at this point you have to. I think you've got to go for something. All right, saving it for the next round and trying to get 8 rounds in a row. It's not going to happen. There you go. Showstopper popped. This needs to get a kill. Normally we're happy with space, but there you go. He's at least taken one. A weapon
Oh no, Team Liquid don't throw. Team Liquid don't throw.
Kicks a good angle, and Trax has found another.
Cloud, no, yes.
In this game, he has been
Thank you.
unbelievable this series, and that just isn't changing anytime soon. 12-4, a chance for an even more dominant map than the last. And I asked the question earlier on, is will this be Purpo's revenge? I almost think Aang might just be sat there like, I told you this kid was good a long, long time ago, but now we're seeing that deliverance of Purpo finally being as good as he can be.
Yeah, and Camo's having a good game. 20 kills and 10 deaths, but it's Trax. 18 and
He's
5.
just not dying.
All series long, this guy has looked like he's come back to this roster with a point to prove, and the point is very much proven at this stage. Purpo deep after an opening pick. That's how confident they're feeling, and for good reason. It feels like outside of pistols and ecos, Liquid cannot put a foot wrong. It's smooth sailing for the attacking side. Now 4 versus 2. Cloud at least able to deliver a 2v2 with a spike down. He's delayed Liquid, and he has given a vital spark of hope to Fnatic.
Yeah, spark that even just in this round alone needs to be fanned into a flame. Let's not even talk about the fire trucks that are coming to put out that singular candle you can see flailing in the wind. And it's patient, maybe for the first time this game. And that patience, okay, it doesn't pay off this time. Cloud has done incredible work. And now pushes Camo into the hands of Alfier. And I thought for a second he was going to get a chance to correct. Not quite.
Yeah, as we throw a 4v2.
12-5. Again, the mountain to climb sits ahead of Fnatic. And, well, feels like a very, very long way to go.
Well, outside of the rounds that we call a coin flip a lot of the time, the pistol, and then in the second that you should be winning if you take the pistol, this is the first round we've seen Fnatic win.
What? A good time.
I think I'm going to need subtitles for that one. Sounded like he
said
started the Orcish war cry. We've got a 40k fan over here. The WOG is on. And perhaps they'll need that bending reality to their will is probably the only way Fnatic are getting back into this series. 7 rounds in a row. As Camo steps in once again, the biggest warrior of all for Liquid. He's found himself and the team, the man advantage. Steps close to the smokes, so the near side won't matter, but Alpha does well to find one, but, well, that hope doesn't last very long. Again.
Where are you going? They need to put him on a leash at this point. Although, with the way the game's going, maybe not. Boaster and Brashies trying to save face from what looks like an embarrassing defeat for Fnatic. We've seen them lose many a game, but I can't think of the last time I watched them get battered like this. With Boaster's confused face, the last thing that Liquid will see today, other than the victory sign. Team Liquid, 13-6, 13-5.
Alright. We'll be back for Americas in 1 hour. Thank God. Thank God. I'll see you then.